to the Life and Listings podcast. I have Scott here today. Hey, Scott. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, no problem. Excited to be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you're doing, all the good things.
Yeah, so Scott again. I am the CRO of RealSync. So it's a company I run. We obviously help real estate agents, teams, brokers with technology and integrations and automation. I've been working in the real estate space for, almost like 20 years now. I was actually a certified home appraiser for like 4 years. And then the market exploded in Phoenix.
Really?
We had the recession. I got out of it and I was like, I don't know what to do. It was all weird. And then I got a lot of sales training, and then full circle in 2012, I started working with real estate teams with a company called Viral Marketing. If people have heard that, I helped build that company with Frank, the CEO. I was one of the executives. And then I started running RealSync right before COVID. It was great timing. But here we are 4 years later and just still have that vision and goal of bringing all the tech together for real estate agents and teams.
Which is totally up my alley, because I feel like that's one of my passions too. And we're going to talk about a subject today that I am like so passionate about, because I feel like it comes up all the time, either with like new clients or existing, or going to a conference and all these agents have all these like shiny object syndrome. We're always talking about the tech, what they signed up for. They're like, I'm broke. Why am I broke? Well, because you signed up for like 87 different things and never applied it. So we're going to talk about like maximizing the tech you have rather than spending more on stuff you don't use. So share a little bit of your background on that and like some guidance for, agents or brokerages or teams to.
Yeah. So, like a lot of times, again, like I'm always, when I'm getting on calls with agents, I'm coming in with a support role. And for me, it's like, you need to know, first of all, what systems do you have? And if you're not using them, Jennifer, you have no idea whether they're going to be effective or not. And how do you make a decision about whether or not you should be using this tool in your tech stack if you're not actually using it? It's almost impossible. Now you're just throwing it to the side and grabbing the next shiny thing. It makes no sense. And then you're going into that thing and you like basically create a login. You log in one time, you're like, oh, this thing's cool. And then you never log in again. And you're just sitting there like wondering if it's going to work for you. So when I get on a call, the first thing I do, and I actually I go, all right, grab a piece of paper, just like grab a paper and start drawing circles and write in the name of the tech that you have. And let's just start talking about them. Like, do they have integration? Okay. Or automation setup? Are you logging into it? When's the last time you logged into it? What data are you getting in that solution that is actionable, that you need to take action on, or that's helping your business? And then is it getting into the main CRM, which should be your source of truth? So I start kind of going through this exercise and then, but really a lot of times, Jennifer, it starts with the CRM. Like, and I'll just be like, do you have campaigns working?
Or do they have a CRM?
Right. Well, to back you up further, and I can't even tell you, it starts with the lead, right? So a lot of times that's where I even start. I go, all right, are you generating leads like OpCity or Ojo or HomeLight or Referral Exchange, or there's like 8 million different options.
Yeah.
Are they automating into your CRM? So if you add the CRM, that's the first place I always start, because I go, and most of the time it's like, no. And I'm like, okay, let's set up a mail parser for you. There's like free tools. They work sometimes okay. Yeah. And then there's Mail Parser IO, which is a tool that costs money. We have a master account, so we usually set people up on our account.
Okay.
And then we'll automate all those different lead systems. And now you have new leads coming into your system automatically. So that's a great place to start. Step one, get the lead into the CRM. And then the conversation turns to, all right, how do we like bucket your leads? Do you have ponds? Do you have smart lists? Like, let's talk through that process. And then like what data you want to have on the lead. Like tag, are there tasks that you're assigning? Is there a checklist of things that you need to do? Like, do you have a Follow-Up Boss has all the custom fields? Like, is there certain things that you want to have on each, data? And so it's just like slowly talking through, but it all starts with CRM. How are you maximizing it? And then going to the ancillary apps. Like, do you have a phone app or transaction management or AI tools, YLOPO, structurally? On and on and on and on. There's like so many different apps you could have, but it starts with like working from one to one to one. Anyway, I'm rambling. I feel like here.
No, you're fine. I feel like it's definitely something we dig into, like at Stats too, is just like, one, CRM, and two, our leads going into it. And then what happens? because we do an audit in the very beginning, just making sure that things are working properly, because it's so easy. You pay for all these leads and then it gets dropped because something that seems so simple doesn't happen, especially when you're starting to get busy and there's stuff in there. So when you're doing these audit for people, you're just kind of going and saying, what can we connect easily? So you're basically working out of one hub. Is that kind of the goal?
Yeah, the goal is to connect as much as we can based on what you have without having to go and, no, you should be using let's start with what you have. Let's try to connect it. Let's automate that data that you need so that something triggers in your CRM. I mean, it's all around, right? Follow-up and conversion with the lead specifically.
Yeah.
And then visibility on what's happening with the lead, our phone calls and texts and things like that happening, but definitely connecting it all. And then if you can't connect it, let's come back to that system. Let's just work with everything we can. And then we can go, all right, does this system make sense? Right. And then I even go a step further. I go all right, let's step all the way back. If you were building your ultimate tech stack again, the questions you need to be asking before you add any solution is does it integrate with my CRM? Right. And does it fit into my process of what I want happening from the time I generate a lead to the time that person actually goes onto a nurture campaign after I close them, right? So you really need to understand your process more than anything, how you want to be engaging that lead, communicating with them, what things you want to be happening. It kind of starts there, and then you fill in the gaps with the automation and tech. But if you already have certain solutions, you need to go figure them out, or have an employee do it if you have an employee.
Someone needs to figure it out, because I think where I see a lot of gaps is that they're this isn't working for whatever reason, whether it's transaction management or whatever. They're I don't like it. Okay, well, let's look at it. When, just like you said, this isn't working for this agent. Well, let's see the last time they logged in. Okay, I literally could see the last time they logged in was 90 days ago. Where is this person doing whatever you're expecting to happen, right? If it's transaction management or the CRM, probably 9 times out of 10, they're doing it somewhere else, which now is creating duplicate entry or inefficiency. So I think looking at that is such a good idea. And then in these calls with agents, are you helping them by saying you need to eliminate this specific tech and saving them money? Are you making any recommendations like that?
Yeah, after I kind of go through the different systems that they have, and then we break down what that solution does, for them. And if it makes sense for them to continue to use it, sometimes there's a lot of redundancies and they don't realize how redundant some tech can be, where it's hey, if I've seen people that are I have to use SkySlope for my EXP brokerage, but I'm using Dotloop too. And I'm okay, but do you really need to be using both of these? Why are you doing that? Why are you paying for this extra solution? Right? Not to pick on Dotloop, but there's a lot of situations like that where there's this redundancy. And so I will recommend, canceling some solutions if they're, one, not using it, and two, it's not adding value and helping their business. And it's only creating this other situation where you feel you don't have visibility in what's happening, and it's creating more anxiety and stress than it needs to be. Just get rid of it. So I will recommend getting rid of it if it makes sense to do.
Yeah, and what I see too, and I'm sure you see this, is that I'll have a team come to me and they're my admin is really frustrated, they want to leave. Okay, why? They just feel they're overworked. I'm okay, let's look at your tech, let's see what they're using. And more often than not, I'm finding that this one person is entering the same transaction 7 different places to get a transaction done. Of course, they don't want to work for you. They don't want to enter that. They want to actually get stuff done. Nobody wants to be entering the same exact data across the board. So I'm sure your solution's it helps quite a bit, because then connecting everything. So if you're entering it over here, it's now going to go all the places it needs to go. Because we all know that a lot of us don't like to use the broker compliance tool because whatever reason we want our own, but it still needs to be entered somewhere.
Yeah. So it's 2 things there, right? Do you really need to be entering it 7 times? Right? Or is that just a little excessive and maybe you don't need it in all the spots? And then can we automate a couple of them or most of them to streamline it to where you're entering it one place and it kind of just goes out to the other places and, creates that transaction in different systems so that it's visible,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you have something really exciting coming down the pipeline, right? So by the time this is out, it'll be live. But so tell our listeners a little bit about that, because I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, so we realize that we need to rebuild our integration platform just to scale and have more applications available to where a real estate agent really can come into our solution, connect more apps more seamlessly, and like everything's just there for them, right? Where they don't have to go and use Zapier and Make and RealSync and like have 3 different integration solutions. We want to make it more comprehensive for the real estate team, you know? So in doing that, though, we realize that we also want to help agents visualize their data and have some recommendations and business intelligence around what's actually happening in their business. So now you can connect. I mean, when this podcast coming out, right, there's probably a lot of solutions you can connect into RealSync to where then you can see what your agents are doing from their KPIs. So agent performance, you know, contacts, dials, you know, appointments, all that stuff, right? Talk time is one of the cool ones that we added to it, where you can actually see how long they're on the phone, right? As long as they're using the phone solution, not their cell phone, right?
Yeah.
And then from there, the real layer that we're giving a lot of intelligence around is lead conversion and ROI, what you spent on that particular lead, when you spent it, and then when it converted and what that looks like for you and your agents. We have a lot of really great data around that. And then we can be continuously giving you recommendations, ways to enhance performance of your team and of your leads. So we're going to be poking holes in what's going on in your business, seeing if ratios are off or low based on conversion or, you know, set the met or whatever. So all this stuff's available at realsync.com. We're so excited about the solution. It's going to really help give you the visibility and kind of let you sleep a little better at night, you know, because you can see everything in one place and you can connect all different solutions to it. And we're going to aggregate the data for you.
Amazing. And we kind of talked about some of you got some big ones that are going to be kind of integrating in there. So you've got like Follow Up Boss, and you said QuickBooks too, right?
Yeah. So Follow Up Boss, all the major CRMs are going to be on platform if they're not already. And then all the major transaction management solutions, yeah, Dotleap, SkySlope, Open to Close, Google, or DocuSign, Zip Forms, like all the major form applications are going to be available. QuickBooks Online, and there's a couple other accounting solutions we're going to be making available to connect. And then it just expands from there. And any application we put onto our platform, you can not only set up integrations, but also you can connect it to RealSync's app to see the data.
Amazing. I'm super excited to see that. And then I'm going to pivot a little bit because
please,
Scott, what is your superpower?
So I like that question. I think honestly, when I think about the value that I can offer is that I love building relationships with people and like genuinely helping them. So I feel like, you know, if you just need someone to talk to about your business, like I'm going to give you real advice. I'm going to tell you that you shouldn't be doing this or should be doing that. And
yeah,
hopefully I'm right. I may not be, but I'll give you real advice. I'm not going to just tell you what you want to hear. And I feel like my superpower is to like be as honest with you that you would want, so that you can look internally in yourself and go, you know what, you know, he's right. Or he's pointing out some things that I need to like put the facade away in a sense and get to the truth. And I help people get to their own truth. I think that's my real superpower.
I feel like I love that that's your superpower, because it's like you're getting to know them on a personal level, but then you're helping them with their business too. So if you're getting to know both ends of it, it's almost like you're going to be able to be more effective with it as an entire package than just one thing. So that's great. Well, thanks so much for joining the podcast today. I think this was an awesome topic, something that's really near and dear to my heart for sure. You know, besides the website, if anyone wants to get in touch with you, follow you, or just connect and schedule a call, where's the best place for them to go?
Yeah, Scott at realsync.com. Yeah, my Calendly is on there. You can call me. If you got my email signature, you can call my cell phone. You can find all my stuff online. But yeah, all my phone numbers are on the website. And just reach out. Like I said, I'm happy to help. And, you know, I don't know everything, but obviously, but like, you know, I've been working with a lot of teams for a long time, and I'll give you the best advice I can to support your business so that you can continue to grow and have the business that you want. Right. So I really appreciate Jennifer. Thanks for having me on. And yeah, I'm here to help.
Well, thanks for joining too. And I'll drop all of that information in the show notes. Have a great day.